Hello everyone. We're back once again with yet another edition of Dialogues with Master Bakers. So as you know, every Friday Sweet Connect does these sessions with bakers, both people who have been in this profession for a long time and people who have just completed about year or so we are trying to basically understand from their experience what it has been for them to be a home baker. We've spoken with people who've been in the profession for 10 years plus. We've also spoken with newer home bakers who are in this profession for the last 1.5 years. So this time we have with us Manjari Nikam. She is from the city of Nawabs, Lucknow. Now Manjari has been a dedicated HR professional for about 10 years and she was pretty successful at it. She's taken up major projects as an HR with various renowned hospitals and she's put all that aside and she decided to become a home baker about 2 years back. So even as a home baker, she is a celebrity in her own rights. She has done a shoot for Morphy Richards in her area for their oven. What I would do is I am about to call her and ask her to join us without waiting for too long. Just hold on.
Hi,
Yeah. Hi, Manjari. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Lily? How's you doing?
I am very fine. Yeah. Actually, honestly, this is the only time I get to see my bakers face to face. Normally, I'm dealing with them when I'm giving them a cake order and all. This is one opportunity when I actually get to meet them face to face and sort of see
Right.
who's behind the voice.
Right. I'm audible. Is it
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know the earphones. It's completely audible now.
yeah. Perfectly fine. Am I audible to you?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Okay, Manjari. So I was just talking to our viewers about you. Though I have told them a little bit about you, I would like for them to hear it from you. So if you could, tell us a little bit about yourself in the sense what you were doing previously and what made you shift into this absolutely new career.
See, being a professional, my career was a complete a roller coaster ride. I worked in many of the fields. Like my dream job was definitely joining a army or a defense. I wanted to be a defense personnel. As my
Wow.
father, yeah, as my father served Indian Air Force. So since that was my childhood dream to join any of the defense forces. But somehow due to some medical issues, I make up to the OTA, Officers Training Academy, Chennai. But somehow due to
Okay.
in 2000, it was the year 2001. But somehow due to some back injuries, I got PR, that's permanent rejection from any of the uh, and it was quite disheartening for me. So I all over started with the pharma industry, being a medical representative, and soon realized that that's definitely not my cup of tea. Marketing is definitely not my cup of tea. From being into commercial vehicle section of HDFC Bank, to teaching MBA grad, then finally somewhere in 2005, I realized that see, I have to start something. I'm more of an administrative person. I got a chance to serve the one of the best hospital in Kanpur. I
Okay.
started there as an HR, and since till 2017, there's no looking back. I worked as a complete professional. But once you have a family and you have kids, you can't work like on your own terms. You have to give a particular time to the like industry you're working. So that was somehow it's not manageable for us being a unit family. So I decided after that I entered into a share market. I worked there.
My God. Talk about the number of professions you have been into.
So it was again it was too adventurous for me, and soon I realized that, definitely not. I really don't want it to be here. I think it was occasion turning into a home baker. It was year 2018, my daughter's fifth birthday, and I was planning to bake something of my own to her. So, you know, you started searching those YouTube videos and the internet. And then you realize कि यार ये जो बना है ना, that was not up to the mark. It was definitely not as per your expectation. That was the thing where I was looking for a professional baking and a professional in Lucknow or any part of the country to learn some professional baking. But till then, I really don't realize is that even I was not a very good chef before. Like I was not a very good cook before entering into it. So then I realized this finally somehow that I entered into that segment of baking.
Okay. So, I mean, like you said, in spite of your initial failures with the cake, you said it wasn't up to the mark as per you. How did you, find, the courage or the motivation to get back into that same thing and, figure out, ऐसे नहीं तो ऐसे ही करना है. मतलब, from what I have heard and spoken to bakers, this is all very precise. Baking is very precise science. So, how did you,
You know. So it was not a one-day task, you know, every time. It's not only baking, it's everything. You fail every day. You know, when you're cooking at your kitchen also, na, you fail. You fail many times. The way you wanted your curries to turn out, they didn't turn well. So it's something on a daily basis which a woman face every day task of her. तो मेरे लिए ना इतना मुश्किल नहीं था कि इन चीजों को समझ पाना. Being a law, see, I was a working professional till since last 15 years. So I handled it well, and you know, when you develop that passion, and you know that is something. The baking is something which which wake up the artist inside me. You know, मुझे लगा कि हाँ, I can get back to those things. I'm a born artist. I sing well, I paint well. So मुझे अभी सारी चीजें I can reconcile and I can go with this. So that's how it started.
Okay. So, do you remember your very first success as a baker? The first cake that you made, which was up to the mark, and you thought, "हाँ बाबा, अब ये तो एकदम सही है."
Yeah, definitely. I came across two very young people. See, in that way, I'm quite blessed. In the very inception of the days, I came across with a startup who's helping the newcomers. So they get orders for me, and like the very first order they bought for me is of 5 kg chocolate truffle cake, which was a double story. So a double story for inauguration of a restaurant. So that was exactly not up to the mark, but yes, what I have learned by my own, I was satisfied. Fine, I did something well.
So that was your very first order as well. Your first success as cake, and
the first order of a 5 kg cake. I started with a 5 kg cake.
Awesome. So when you started and when you decided, this is the career that you're choosing for yourself, and this is how you want to move ahead. So did you have any apprehensions in mind? कुछ डर लगा कि success होगा क्या?
Apprehensions are always there. You live with apprehensions. आपको घर से बाहर निकलते भी डर लगता ही है. See, the community I belong, they are the community of Kayas. They were very well known for their literacy. They serve the Nawab, they serve the king. उनके यहाँ जो कहते हैं कि लिखा पढ़ी क्या करते थे, वो उस कम्युनिटी को बिलोंग करती. They are called Kayas, you know.
Okay.
So no one was there in my family, not even from my father's side and from my mother's side. Everyone was literate, everyone was into government job. So more of the
Correct.
They force you to, not even a private job, they always force you to work hard to get through SSC or UPSC and get into it.
IAS seems like the dream job for most people.
So you know that kind of pressure which 18 kids usually face कि नहीं आपको तो ना, you have only two options, either you get a job or आप या engineer या doctor बन सकते हो. Only three limited options you have. So I definitely go through that, but since being into job, I understand कि कहीं ना you have to take step. You have to step out of your fear. आप जब तक वो नहीं करते, you definitely. और कहीं ना जब आप you say ना, there is a dialogue from a movie कि जब आप शिद्दत से कुछ चाहते हो तो फिर खाना बनाने में लग जाती है.
So you're a Shah Rukh Khan fan also, is it?
So it was something like that. Yes, apprehensions were there, but definitely I've stepped out of them. करना है तो करना है.
अच्छा तो फिर करना है तो करना है ठीक है पर बिजनेस है यू आर गोइंग टू बिकम एन एंटरप्रेन्योर सो उसका कोई बिजनेस प्लान होगा कोई प्रोसेस होगा कुछ रिसर्च किया होगा आपने कि ये करना चाहिए नहीं करना चाहिए
Definitely. I'll say कि see, my first kid definitely not came well, but I look forward into the Lucknow city, my city. कि एक अच्छा प्रोफेशनल मुझे मिल जाए जो मुझे सिखा सके. I came across a few. Some motivated me कि नहीं, this is a good profession. You can come into it. You join this profession. You join the league of the bakers. Some demotivate कि यार अब तो कुछ भी नहीं है ना हम ही इतना ज्यादा कुछ फेस कर रहे हैं इस इंडस्ट्री में तो और आप आ जाओगे आप जैसे और आ जाएंगे तो अभी कुछ रखा नहीं है तो यू नो बोथ थिंग्स वर देयर लोग डिमोरलाइज भी कर रहे थे और मोटिवेट भी कर रहे थे बोथ थिंग्स हैपेंस विद मी बट somehow realization जो होता चला गया ना the target I was never that kind of person जो unrealistic target set करता था कि नहीं for a very first month I need to get orders of 50,000 it was definitely not it it was a very small amount कि हाँ let me bake at least 5 cakes per month so from there I started it came from 5,000 to 7,000 कि 2 महीने बाद अब 2 महीने हो गए हैं let's progress a little bit तो वो कहीं ना कहीं आके ओके 7,000 नाउ 10,000 तो आई वाज ऑलवेज देयर कि कुछ रियलिस्टिक टारगेट सेट किए और अचीव करती चली गई
तुम्हारा एचआर का बैकग्राउंड ने तो जरूर हेल्प किया होगा रियलिस्टिक गोल्स परफॉर्मेंस अप्रेजल टारगेट्स अचीव्ड नॉट अचीव्ड
यस द स्लो एंड स्टेडी ऑलवेज विन द रेस
So, your first order and your second order, उसमें कितना gap था? मतलब first order you said there was 2 people who got that 5 kg वाला cake for you. So a lot of people or the bakers that I've spoken to, they've had to wait. First order हो गया, अच्छे से गया सब कुछ, and then the second order they've had to wait for a long time because before a second order actually came in. So was it like that for you or?
It was, say I just received after 2 or 4 days I received my second order.
Okay, and that was also word of mouth. How were you getting your orders?
Definitely. I was till say before that I was never a very internet savvy kind of person. That was FB only. Even I didn't open my account on Insta too. In 2019 also I was not on Insta. So it was like definitely it was through word of mouth. The best part about this profession is that once when people ordered you and when the ceremony was done in any of the like whether it's a birthday it's say it's an opening, it's an inauguration. People when they tasted your bakes now and they loved it and they keep on asking people कि कहाँ से लिया it's good, it's soft, it's juicy, it's something which they are looking for and which they are not getting from the local bakery. So word of mouth definitely helped me a lot in spreading my name, spreading Sugar Nama. So I was quite lucky in that way.
So, what kind of preparations did you do? I know you said you set realistic targets for you, but even in terms of thoda bahut logistics, yeah, back end work, vendors, yeah, equipments that you need for baking and all. So, how did you go about it? How did you realize that these are the things that you will need? Because baking is such a vast field that the kind of equipments, I mean, they range from a mere 5,000 to
right. See,
so how did you figure out that this is my range, this is where I need to be, at least now that I'm starting? So how did you go about that?
Agree. See, in like you maybe आपको ये लगा होगा या आपको ये पता होगा कि every day when you woke up and you open your Insta, being a baker, you open your Insta and every account, you see there is a new trend following. Every day you have new trend. And then being a new baker, if you're keen to learn, you were definitely searching for it. कि ये चल क्या रहा है? Cake top forward होता क्या है? या फिर pinata, what exactly it is pinata? And then you started your searches. कि आप net पे जा रहे हो, you're asking your fellow bakers, you're asking your teacher और जो कुछ भी है. So I was never, matlab, I wait till 3 o'clock to search all those things. I force my clients to order this particular trend. This is trending. तो आई एम दैट काइंड ऑफ पर्सन की जिसने ना पागलों की तरह चीजों को ना फॉलो किया है मैंने अपनी नींद अपना खाना अपना सब कुछ डिवोट कर दिया जस्ट वांटेड टू बिकम अ पैशनेट बेकर एंड आई नेवर वांट माई सेल्फ मुझसे कोई आके ये बोले कि आपने ये वो सजेस्ट किया था एंड दिस इज नॉट अप टू द मार्क वी डिडंट लाइक इट तो दिस इज समथिंग एंड सी पीपल मे से कि दिस इज एन कॉस्टली अफेयर बेकिंग इज एन कॉस्टली अफेयर यस इट इज ऑफ कोर्स but you have to invest. There is no other way. If you wanted to get succeeded, if you want the success should follow you, you have to invest. You have to invest time, your money, and definitely the molds and all the accessories you have to buy. There is no option for it.
No, but even in that, there is a range, right? How do you decide कि ये वाला ही ठीक है या ये वाला ठीक नहीं है? You know, can...
That's a basic instinct. See, I was an HR. I know you develop when you are into business, you have to develop those things. अभी pocket allow कर रही है कि 500 का मोल नहीं ले सकते, then you have to satisfied it somewhere at 250 कि अभी ठीक है, अभी pocket इतनी ही allow कर रही है, and later on when my pocket allows कि मैं 500 का मोल या फिर I can have that kitchen aid of 11,000 तो मैं ले सकती हूँ. So this is completely up to you कि आपको कैसे check करना. See, there are two kind of businesses. One is quantity and one is quality. I always believe in quality. I definitely don't want to serve my cakes to any Tom Dick head. I'm not judging anybody. But exactly कोई मुझसे अगर आके ये बोले ना कि यार ये वाला केक बेकरी में 400 का मिल रहा है, तो I'll suggest him कि प्लीज आप वहां से ले लो. I'm not that right person जो आपको ना इतनी मेहनत करने के बाद में अपना पूरा दिन इन्वेस्ट करने के बाद में I can't sell that cake at 400. So that definitely you have to decide what clientele you want in your life. People are earning from the quantity also, and people are earning from the quality also. So I serve only, see, India is a populated country. We have a huge population. So chances हर किसी के पास है ना कि आप किसको serve करना चाहते हो. That's
correct. So you decide the client that you want to serve, and then when you know what your client wants, you serve them accordingly.
Actually, I seriously want a quality product. I really wanted to give them the quality product, and the tagline is this: कि सर जो मैं खुद नहीं खा सकती वो मैं आपको कभी serve नहीं करूँ. It was always there कि मैं आपको वही serve करूँगी जिसे मैं prefer करती हूँ. मतलब it's nothing like that कि I can buy a 40 rupees liter of with cream और मैं वो केक से serve कर दूँगी. No, it's definitely a quality product every time. So that is my work.
So Sugar Nama, ये नाम कहाँ से आया? It's such a good fusion of.
Seriously, people like na they are more, they develop that kind of thing ना कि यार चीनी is something very bad. चीनी तो ना life से हटा ही दो. चीनी जैसे you can replace, मतलब everybody suggesting you, everybody is a dietitian now and everybody is suggesting you कि you can replace your sugar with jaggery, you can have those healthy bakes. तो मुझे लगा नहीं, चीनी इतनी भी बुरी नहीं है. Lives of people.
I have had dietitians coming on this show and they have said the same thing, and I have people like you coming and telling me कि sugar इतनी भी बुरी नहीं.
You know, everybody has हर कोई इतना ज्यादा ना एक शोर सा मचा हुआ है कि नहीं आप यार जब तक टेस्ट नहीं लोगे, it is not everyday matters कि आप रोज बेक करके घर पे नहीं खाते हो. It's an occasional affair कि आप कभी भी occasion पे ही मंगाओगे. उसके लिए भी हेल्दी डाइट का फॉर्मूला आई डिडंट अंडरस्टैंड दैट. सो डोंट गो सो डार्लिंग शुगर.
आप सही में नवाबों के शहर से हो.
Thank you.
So, for this last 2 years that you've been a baker, what kind of challenges did you face? You must have come across something or the other.
Challenges. I'll tell you the story. What kind of challenges? It was not like in a book. Something big has happened to me. See, I got to know that yesterday today I have to come live with you. So I was preparing, before that, I should look good. I should do makeup. So, say around 5 o'clock, I received some orders for keep and something. So I was not taking, as a renovation is going on in my house for my studio. So I was not, from last a week, I'm not taking orders, but they were close people. So I thought to take up their order. And I have to prepare again to come live with you. So at around 7, 8, I started realizing I'm getting allergic. You develop those cold and something. So it was like till 12, I prepared my things like ना जो भी basic preparations होते हैं आपके bake के cookies के लिए चीजें आपको sort करके रखनी हुई हैं अलग. I did all that. By 12, I was shattered. I have some guests at home, so I have to wake up at 5 to prepare. They are about to leave at 7. So I have to prepare food for them, breakfast and all.
Oh my God.
By at 9, I started irritated on my husband, got irritated on him. Nobody helps me. I have to take care of everything when I have something like this. Something big is going to happen in my life today, and I have orders to. So he came towards me and he has given me a pill. He said, एक आप ना ये medicine ले लो and you go for a sleep at least for 1 hour, not for if not for 2 or 3 hours, at least for an hour. आप जब उठोगे तो you'll relax. And exactly that happened. That was the challenge you faced every day. You know, उसके बाद when I started my baking, 2-3 बार लाइट को जाना था because it's a rainy season here and you know you're facing those weather conditions. तो कभी
correct.
So these are day-to-day challenges that I occasionally face. Nothing big has happened to me, and you know, I think the normal bakers came across these challenges only.
No, these are fine. These are day to day. I mean, every profession में कुछ ना कुछ daily firefighting तो होता ही है. I was talking in general as an entrepreneur when you set up your shop. Now you said you are starting your studio, so you would have had to, you know, hunt for a place or look for vendors. You know, I was talking about major challenges that you would face as a baker.
The major challenges are definitely when you don't know the right, like you're not getting across the right vendors. You're getting things at very cost. You're getting things when people are getting it at 250, you are getting it at 500 or 1000. So these were the challenges, and definitely looking for a place. From last 1.5 years, I was deciding to going to start up my studio, but somehow couldn't save enough money for that. Or you can say you're not getting. There was a month which is very high in your career, you earn a lot, and the next month following that, or it's not work. You're not working well. You're not. You don't have that much of orders. You feel low. So apart that, nothing has been like which I can say major has happened to me. It's a small journey of say 1.10 months only. So I don't say कि बहुत ज़्यादा major challenges face किए, बहुत small से challenges रहे हैं मेरी life में. Maybe I'm a more of blessed kind of person.
So any particular cake जो बहुत challenging रहा हो या मतलब बहुत दूर transport करना पड़ा हो या कुछ any story that you can share with the viewers.
There's a cake, there's a glitter cake which is in trending. First time I'm using my airbrush, and it was happened somewhere in February. It was a 50th anniversary cake, and I was doing that my airbrushing for the very first time. The cake turned up very beautiful. It's again a 5 kg cake. जो जिन्हें ले जाना था वो खुद रिसीव करने आए डिलीवरी के लिए केक. And say after 10 minutes I received a call that केक खराब हो गया. हमने खोल के देखा और केक खराब हो गया. It just slipped out. I didn't understand because it was just 10 years affair from my house. How could it happen? They came back to my home कि आप इसे ठीक कर दो. Either you replace it or आप इसे ठीक कर दो. अब जब केक आपका पूरा slant हो चुका है, आपको लग रहा है कि आप उसे उठा के ठीक कर सकते हो, but you can't do that. That was the biggest thing which I faced कि before giving it to before handing it over to your client, give them the proper education कि इसको कैसे handle करना है, what speed you have to take up, you have to take care of the roads, आपको बहुत तेज ब्रेक नहीं लेना है, what speed you have to maintain. That I realized कि before giving them to your client, आपको ना because they are not bakers. आपके लिए तो आपका बेबी है, बट फॉर देम इट्स समथिंग इज जस्ट अ केक. तो मुझे लगा कि कहीं ना कहीं मुझे अपने क्लाइंट्स को ना ये अपडेट देना पड़ेगा कि आपको बताना चाहिए कि हाँ उन्हें कैसे हैंडलिंग करनी है.
तो क्या किया उस केक का?
कुछ नहीं कर पाई, जितना रिकवर कर सकती थी उतना किया, बट मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी चीज थी वो, बिकॉज इट वाज माय फर्स्ट केक विद एयर ब्रशिंग एंड उन्होंने शायद ऐसे किया.
So whenever you learn a new technique, or like you were saying about airbrushing or pinata cakes are running a lot, wo pull me up cakes वगैरह. So when you learn something to the new, do you try it out earlier before going into an order, or कोई order आता है तो ही you try?
Before that I give my hands on to that thing कि नहीं, because I did with pinata. Once the first order I got for pinata, I broke 6 of the shells. Before doing it, I have broken 6 of the shells of pinata cake. So that was something which I learned कि नहीं यार, client has a limited time. You have a limited time with clients. They have given you, they want it by 5, then they want it by 5. So you have to learn that technique, or you have to like hands-on sessions before that, before handing it over to the client. तो मैं हमेशा अब I make it a thumb rule कि नहीं, before serving it to the client, आपको hands-on sessions पहले खुद घर पे ना लोगों को खिला देना चाहिए किसी नई रेसिपी को, या फिर you get an idea कि exactly what you wanted to do.
So do you experiment in your recipes, as in the kind of flavors? Because nowadays there are a lot of exotic flavors that are coming up.
Yes,
you know, and abroad also you get a lot of different kind of flavors. So
I've
do you do all that?
6 months back, I developed a recipe of my own, which is 11 pound cake, and it came out delicious. See, that's not a disaster I have done, but definitely कि बहुत अपनी recipe बना ली है. But you know, few changes I have done with the cake, the taste I wanted. So I started doing that कि मुझे किस तरीके के flavors अच्छे लगते हैं, या you know, ये आपका clientele क्या चाहता है, उसे क्या पसंद आता है, softness को cakes में कैसे और ज़्यादा enhance कर सकते हैं being a home baker, या फिर आप क्या नए flavors और inputs दे सकते हैं. That I've started doing that.
Okay. So अभी इतना 2 साल आपका हो गया है in baking. Do you think it was maybe you would have done better if you have taken up a professional course, you know, studying baking as professionally, or self-learning is also okay and maybe take up a few courses here and there? What do you think in these 2 years of your...
No, I'm not getting that. I'm sorry.
I was asking you, in these 2 years, your experience, do you think you would have done better if you had gone and done a professional course, baking course?
Actually.
If you had done better, or it's okay, self-learning and YouTube, and that is enough?
No, definitely not. I have taken three of the classes afterwards for basic baking, and buttercream. I've recently did the buttercream cakes. I've learned those techniques. So definitely learning helps you a lot. Like there are professionals who tell you like do's and don'ts for a particular recipe. So a professional training is definitely required in any of the field, not about the home bakers. If particularly talking about the home bakers, that's definitely required. See, these lockdown, they have developed the kind of thing into every person. There's like we have mushrooming of bake in every home. Everybody is a baker now. It's something like that.
Correct.
Standing out of them, you have to learn. You have to learn it professionally. So in near future, I'm thinking of learning some sculpting, some like tall cakes, and those techniques, which definitely help me in growing my career.
Okay. So yeah, from what I understand is it's a constant learning process. You have to constantly keep yourself updated because new technologies and new techniques are constantly coming up. Every second day there's something new that you have to learn.
Exactly.
And in Abhi, this question is actually for all the people who are watching. I mean, there are a lot of people, like you said, a lot of new bakers have come into this profession. It's not only them. In fact, there are people who are still on the fence. Kare nahi kare. जैसे तुमने किया था starting में, you went and asked you asked people, should I not? So would you have any advice for these people who are on the fence? Should they jump or should they not?
They should jump. If they're keen to learn, if they have willpower. See, challenges are everywhere in life. You can't say कि नहीं कर सकते. After some age, you cannot. I'm 40. So I've started all over again. Being from an HR professional, I jumped into this business of home baker, and I'm very relaxed because you can work at the comfort of your own. You don't have to serve anybody. There's no time. If you wanted to bake your cakes by 11 o'clock in the morning, you are allowed. If you wanted to bake them midnight, you are allowed. So this is what a person is looking for, a freedom of work. So I would definitely suggest if somebody is looking for to become a baker, but before that, they should have a little bit, at least a little knowledge of the professional baking. बस YouTube से आप इसके jump मत कर जाइए. This is what I suggest. And आप करना चाहो, there should be a willpower. आप जब willpower आपकी decide कर लेते हो कि नहीं मुझे करना है, then चीजें हो जाती हैं.
So sweet. That's like the best kind of advice that anybody can receive. Thank you.
Thanks to you. It's definitely to you. Thank you, Libby.
It was a pleasure speaking with you, Manjari. आपने थोड़ा सा लखनऊ का जायका दे दिया हम सबको.
Thank you, Lord.
So guys, definitely order from Manjari. She is an awesome baker. And Manjari serves Lucknow and Sweet Connect serves Lucknow and the rest of the country. So you can get in touch with either of us for your baked goodies. Thanks. Thank you, Manjari. Thanks for coming here again.
Thank you, Sweet Connect. Thanks for inviting me.
It's our pleasure.